Hey guys, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. Unfortunately, today's video is not what I had anticipated doing at the beginning of the week. Originally, I was going to do a review of the Copic Gossan Fude brush pen and a time-lapse of the January Copic Colors Challenge, but some recent news has come to light and that sort of made me change tracks at the last minute, and I decided to do this video instead. If you're interested about my thoughts on the brush pen, I'm still very iffy about it, but I did really love the results of the Copic Colors Challenge. You can see this on my Instagram if you want, link down below. And speaking of Instagram, we are going to be addressing all of the various changes to certain social media platforms. I'm gonna be talking a little bit about Instagram and Facebook and primarily YouTube. And I'm gonna have lots of resources linked down below, so if you're interested in any of that, please check the description bar down below. That should give you some more insight and some more information if you're looking for that. So first of all, let me sort of preface this video by saying what I talk about in this video may be a little bit controversial. A lot of you may not necessarily agree with what I have to say in this video, and I want to say that that is completely okay. My opinion on this matter is still kind of changing and evolving and coming to light, so I am very open to alternative opinions, and I would love if you guys shared your comments respectfully in the comments down below so that we can talk more about this and kind of explore these ideas a little bit more. So, okay, let's just get into it. YouTube announced yesterday changes to its partnership program. The partnership program is what makes content creators eligible for monetization, which allows them to earn money off of their videos through the ads that play through Google. So just a little bit of brief history about the partnership program. Ages and ages ago, when YouTube first began, the partnership program was very elite. It was kind of invite only. It was really only for the top few channels. You could not be eligible for it if you were just starting out or if you were a smaller channel. Then YouTube made a change a couple years back that made monetization eligible to nearly everybody so long as their channel had 10,000 lifetime views. And now, as of yesterday, YouTube announced the changes to their partnership program and the new requirements that will need to be met to achieve monetization. Those requirements include having both 4,000 hours of watch time in the last 12 months and having 1,000 subscribers. So this is quite a big jump from where the previous bar was set, although it is still not as elite as it used to be when the partnership program first started. So what's interesting to me is why YouTube didn't just decide to go this middle of the road route initially. Instead, they kind of went from one extreme to the other and are now trying to make their way to the middle. However, in the process, they are now taking away monetization from people that were previously eligible under the old restrictions. So for those of you that had 10,000 lifetime views but don't have 4,000 watch hours or 1,000 subscribers, their monetization is now being taken away. As I'm making this video right now, I still have my YouTube partnership on my art channel. However, the YouTube partnership on my makeup channel and on my vlog channel that I created sort of as a just-in-case channel, if I wanted to start a vlog channel, those are no longer eligible for monetization. And I'm not upset about that. I did not put any time or effort or energy into those channels, so I was not expecting to see any growth from them or to be able to monetize content on there, so I just wanted to disclose that. 2 of the channels that I have are affected, but the primary channel that I use has not been affected as I am recording this video. Now, I've seen a lot of responses to this controversy online, and I actually really do appreciate all of the different viewpoints that I've heard from Baylee Jay, from Sam Be Awesome, from Hullo Alice, and it's really kind of helped me shape my perspective and how I really feel about this issue, because I feel a lot of things about this issue, and I kind of just want to talk about first and foremost what really breaks my heart with this, and I think that I share this with a lot of other people who have talked about this issue already, and that is how harmful and discouraging this is to smaller creators. There are so many amazing creative people on this platform, many of which make high quality videos, post frequently, post very in-demand watchable content. that are now not eligible for monetization. This breaks my heart for so many reasons because they are not the problem. And I think we all know that. So why did YouTube decide to make these changes? They're saying it's their solution to the problems that have occurred recently regarding larger channels manipulating the algorithm and manipulating the monetization feature on the platform. I'm referring to mostly the PewDiePie issue and the Logan Paul issue, although primarily the Logan Paul issue. But there's a sort of common theme with both of these issues that I want to address just in case this happens with any other large platforms going forward. And that is when a large channel extremely violates the guidelines of YouTube, and then YouTube changes its entire platform as a response to that one individual. And ultimately what ends up happening is that the person responsible isn't really punished at all. And all of the other smaller channels have to suffer as a result. This happened with PewDiePie when he made a very controversial video, and as a result, advertisers pulled their ads from the site. This happened again with the Logan Paul issue when his video was trending, when it grossly violated a lot of the YouTube guidelines, and YouTube didn't even end up taking the video down. Logan Paul did. So there's a common theme here of YouTube not doing a good enough job managing its content. Now, I do also want to disclose that I don't think all of these changes are necessarily bad. And before you guys crucify me in the comments, I kind of just want to explain that a little bit more. And I kind of want to talk about what I think is good about these changes and what I think is bad about these changes. So first of all, the good. Now, of course, this is sort of remain to be seen as of yet because these changes are so new, but I do think that there is a potential positive side to limiting who has access to monetization. And this isn't meant to be an elitist thing, but I actually do think that it makes a lot of sense, both from a business standpoint and from a creator standpoint. So I can see where YouTube is coming from with this, and then I can also see how this may, asterisk, potentially benefit me. So YouTube claims that by limiting who has access to monetization, they're going to be discouraging accounts that repost videos, spam videos, and basically reap benefits off stealing other people's content. And I do think that is a possibility, and I do think that that's a very positive thing to discourage people from doing by earning money off of stealing other people's content. As an artist, I appreciate that move. And also for those of us that have recently suffered that horrible yellow $ strike on our videos for not being advertiser friendly, I think that this could actually help us out too. Then that could potentially mean less wait time when we have to request a manual review on a video. Now, I don't necessarily think that this is right, seeing as that shouldn't have been an issue in the first place, but I do see this as a potential positive going forward, and that perhaps the mislabeling of a video as not being advertiser friendly will hopefully decrease going forward. So now I want to talk a little bit about why I don't fully agree with these changes. And I fear I might get a little bit repetitive here, but please bear with me. Ultimately, I don't think these changes punish those who are responsible. I believe if a large channel violates YouTube's guidelines, as many of them have done, their monetization should be suspended. Doesn't have to go away completely. YouTube can still play ads on their videos and reap the benefits, but that individual should not be allowed to accrue AdSense revenue from that video if they're violating YouTube guidelines. To me, that seems like a very obvious solution. I don't know why that wasn't done with PewDiePie. I don't know why that wasn't done with Logan Paul. And it really baffles my mind that YouTube's decision involves punishing millions of smaller channels rather than the 1 or 2 channels that are actually the problem. I also just want to make a little bit of a disclaimer that I don't necessarily think what PewDiePie did and what Logan Paul did are on the same level, but I'm using both of those examples kind of side by side because the root of the problem is the same. Big channel violated guidelines, YouTube went after the little guy. They just don't really add up for me, and so that's why I'm using both of those examples together, but I don't necessarily think those issues were interchangeable in any way. Does that make sense? Hopefully. So now I want to kind of shift the tone of the video a little bit away from all of this really downer negative stuff about YouTube and talk a little bit about how we can take these changes and incorporate them and maybe turn this into a positive experience. Hopefully, bear with me. The first thing that I want to do is shout out Hello Alice from YouTube. She is amazing. She's very, very sweet. She's been very, very vocal about these changes on her social media, even though she was not personally affected by this issue either. And I first of all really want to thank her for that, and then also shout out her support small movement, hashtag support small, kind of shouting out smaller channels and helping them get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, just to sort of, you know, help them out and help the community here on YouTube to feel that sense of togetherness and connectedness. So I really just want to shout her out for that. I think that was awesome, and her formal statement on this matter was really well spoken, and I think really resonated with me, as did Baylee Jay's statement as well, for different reasons. And I think I'll link both of them down below, but I think they're both well worth reading and may help you kind of form your opinion and kind of see where you stand on this issue. Also, I forgot to mention, I do agree that people that were already eligible for the partnership prior to these changes should be grandfathered in. I think that that's a blanket, obvious statement that YouTube should have addressed beforehand, and the fact that they didn't looks really, really bad on them, honestly. So I really do hope they make that change. I'm not holding out though. Not everybody can be Patreon and be the bigger person and say, sorry, we messed up, we're not making stupid changes to the platform that our creators don't want. So I wouldn't hold your breath for that, but I do wish that they would grandfather people in. All right, now we're gonna switch the tone of the video to be a little bit more positive and talk about what we can do to continue to thrive on this platform in spite of all of these changes. So, talking to all of my online content creators here, if these changes upset you in any way, I would invite you to begin looking at your content like a business. If you weren't already thinking of your content online as a business, now is a really, really good time to start. And what do I mean by that? I don't mean to turn your content into some cookie cutter formula that every algorithm is gonna love and eat up. That's not really what I mean, all right? That is super artificial. Nobody really engages with that. Everybody kind of scrolls past the posts that look and feel like ads, right? I'm not telling you to do that. What I am telling you to do is look at your analytics, look at your audience, look at your posts. Which posts have the most engagement? Who is the audience that you're trying to reach? How can you make that post and that audience fit together? And how can you get those posts out there to your audience? And how can you change your posts to be more engaging? And you know, those kinds of things. How do you brand yourself as a business? These are all of things that if you haven't already been thinking about them, now is the time to start. Next, and very, very important, diversify your content. Utilize different platforms. Each platform has its own thing to offer, and it's best to not put all of your eggs in one basket. I know you hear that a lot nowadays, but it is really important that you're not just relying on AdSense, and you're not just relying on Instagram likes, and you're not just relying on Twitch revenue. Diversify all of those different things and use them to your advantage. I know social media is a lot of work, and I'd be willing to do a whole separate video talking about how I've sort of learned to manage my own social media online, but it is a lot of work, and I'm gonna be showing you some tips and stuff later in the video as well, especially pertaining to Facebook and Instagram. But I do just want to say to diversify your content, don't just stick on one platform, and have sort of a nomadic perspective with it, where there's a sense of flexibility to your content and your platform. If a certain platform isn't working for you anymore, learn how to take your content and apply it to a different platform. You don't always have to be in one place forever. So kind of keep that in mind as well too, because platforms come and go. YouTube could be the next Vine, the next Snapchat. It could be a dead site just like that. So don't put all your eggs in one basket, because you could wake up one day and that basket could be gone. Next is to treat every experience as a learning experience. Every time you make a post online, study the engagement, study how people respond to it, and then ask yourself, how is this post different from all my other posts? Was it better? Was it worse? If it was worse, how could I make it better next time? Treat everything as a learning experience and take notes and really study how people are responding to your platform. If you journal or have a planner, you can track your social media growth through that, and that should give you a better idea of how to track certain trends. Now, the other important thing about having a business mindset when it comes to your content online is this idea of building a reputation. A business cannot succeed without a good reputation. And you as a content creator are a business and you have to build your own reputation. Now, a reputation takes time to build. It does not happen overnight. So if you were one of the creators that unfortunately had their monetization taken away or were not able to meet the requirements for monetization, what I would tell you is to view this as a time to build your reputation. If you think of it from a strictly business perspective, YouTube is not going to be willing to invest in you until they know that you are a reputable creator. This means posting online frequently, posting high quality content, posting content that is within their guidelines. And once you meet all of those requirements in the form of whatever number they decide to put on it, I know this is silly guys, but this is how this works, then they will grant you the privilege of monetization. And that's the important thing to remember. YouTube, I'm talking to you. Monetization is a privilege. It can be granted and it can be taken away. So I wanted to attempt to just change the perspective a little bit on how we're looking at this new threshold for monetization. Don't look at it as a cap or a limitation. Look at it as an opportunity for you to prove yourself and gain YouTube's trust. And just a final note before we move on from this whole YouTube business, I just wanted to wrap up by saying that even though we as creators need YouTube, YouTube also needs us. So if you don't like something about the platform, be vocal about it, talk about it, and be an advocate for change. Facilitate a sense of community on your platform. Use your channel to bring smaller channels together to support each other and strive for genuine growth. I cannot emphasize that point enough. If you see a channel that you like, go to them, subscribe to them, follow them on Instagram, follow them on Twitter, follow them everywhere and support what they do. Supporting an artist can be completely free. It doesn't have to cost a thing. All right, now moving on to this whole Instagram/Facebook nonsense. I'm saying them both together because Facebook owns Instagram, and when there's a change in one algorithm, there's a change in the other. So I just wanted to discuss some of the tips that I have for incorporating the new algorithm into your content. And I'm getting all of this information from Ginny D. She's a cosplayer here on YouTube, and she shared a whole Twitter thread about this, and I believe she referenced a blog post for this, but I will link both her blog and that Twitter post in the description bar down below. So that way you can fact check me and get more information if you want. So, changes to consider on Instagram. First and foremost is regarding comments. If somebody comments on your Instagram post, it is best to reply within 1 hour to boost your engagement and your reach to your platform. This is super, super important. I know it's not always realistic, but if and whenever possible, try and reply to comments in a very timely manner to boost your engagement. Next, another interesting change made regarding comments is what is considered a comment. And this is kind of interesting, and I would like some more information on this if any of you have it. But what is considered a comment is now changing, and comments must be at least 4 words to count as a genuine form of engagement. Therefore, simple comments like nice or thumbs up emoji will no longer count as a comment and won't boost your engagement. So that's just kind of an important note, both for me as an artist commenting on other people's art and for people commenting on mine. I know it's really, really silly, but try and stretch it to 4 words if possible, because I know this is so dumb and I hate having to talk about it like this, but if this is gonna help you guys thrive on the internet, then that's what it's all about. So just to try and help you out, okay? Okay. Next, there's also rumors that comment pods are on their way out, and Instagram is doing more to limit the use of comment pods. If you don't know what comment pods are, I'm going to refer you to a video by Chloe Morello here on YouTube. She's a beauty YouTuber, but she made a whole video talking about comment pods and how people are kind of faking their way to the top with social media. And it's a really, really good video, and it's kind of multi-platformed, so I really think that's a good video, and she describes it much better than I would be able to. But basically, by eliminating comment pods, you are facilitating genuine comments over fake comments, if that makes sense. Next is regarding hashtags. So if you're one of those people like myself that previously posted their hashtags in a separate comment, those are no longer going to pop up in the search. So hashtags are now going to have to be in the description, and it's best to limit your hashtags to around 5. So don't overdo it, not too few, not too many. 5 is about the magic number that you want to be aiming for, and again, make sure they're in the description. Instagram stories are huge. It's a really important way to engage with your audience, It allows you to connect more with them one-on-one, post more casual updates. You can let them know when you post a new picture so they can go to your page and like it rather than having to sift through 50 other images. So if you aren't already, start posting on your Instagram stories. That is really gonna help boost your engagement. And I believe, this could be a rumor, I'm not entirely sure, but I believe preferential treatment is given to those who use Instagram stories when they post. So if you use Instagram stories, your post is gonna have more reach. And it's really dumb the way that they do this, but supposedly your post only reaches 10% of your audience initially, and then based on how that 10% of your audience reacts, it is then released out to the other 90%. Super dumb, I know. I don't know why they do this to themselves, but at least we have ways of knowing about it and reworking our content to fit new algorithms. Algorithms are always gonna be a thing on the internet, guys. They're always gonna be changing, and I know it's frustrating, but it's sort of the name of the game. And like I said, being flexible is important. And just to spare you all from this video getting too long, I am going to nix talking about the whole Facebook thing, because you can just read that blog post that I was mentioning down below. If you post on Facebook, it's not really a platform that I'm focusing on for my business right now. But if you're interested in that, I will have that blog post linked down below. And if you do post on Facebook, I would highly recommend reading that. So just kind of in conclusion, guys, I know this is frustrating. I know there's a lot of small channels out there that are really upset by this, but please do not let this discourage you. If you're thinking about posting your art online, do it. Post videos on YouTube, live stream on Twitch, post on Instagram, post on Twitter, Tumblr, whatever. Don't let this discourage you. I promise that building a platform of people who genuinely love and support what you do is so worth all of the bullshit that the internet puts you through. I cannot stress that enough. It's so important. Support small channels, support artists, support creators, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. All right.